All right, let's go inside the mind of the guy who's literally building our AI future. And I'm telling you, what's driving him, it is not what you think.
And look, that's not an exaggeration. Jensen Huang's company, Nvidia, it's the engine behind this whole AI revolution. The scale of what he's pulled off is it's mind-blowing.
I mean, look at this number, $3 trillion. That's what the company he built from the ground up is worth. Just let that sink in for a second.
So you gotta ask, right? What's his secret weapon? What's the psychological engine that pushes someone to achieve something, well, this huge? You probably think you have an idea. But I'm gonna bet you're wrong. It's not that classic, sunny, Silicon Valley, we're changing the world optimism. Nope, it is the complete and total opposite.
Yeah, that's a direct quote from the man himself. The guy running a $3 trillion empire literally starts his day with dread. And right there, that's the massive disconnect between who we see and what's actually going on inside.
I mean, publicly, you see the leather jacket, the whole tech rock star vibe. He seems cool, totally confident, a visionary, right? But what's actually powering the whole machine? A profound fear of failing. It's this constant humming anxiety that has been his fuel for decades. And this is basically his daily mantra. Now, there was a time when this was literally true. Nvidia was just 1 month away from going broke. But today, it's his psychological weapon against the one thing that truly terrifies him: getting comfortable, complacency.
So where does a mindset like that come from? Well, this engine wasn't designed in a lab. It was forged in fire. And to really get it, we have to go way back. You can kind of boil it down to 3 key moments that shaped him. A pretty brutal reform school when he was just 9, a chaotic Denny's kitchen at 15, and then co-founding Nvidia at 30. But that first one set the stage for everything else. So get this, his parents thought they were sending him to some fancy boarding school, but they accidentally enrolled him in a reform academy for troubled kids. Imagine being a 9-year-old immigrant dropped into that. It was basically hell. He got bullied nonstop. His daily chore was cleaning all the boys' toilets. He realized pretty quick that resilience was the only way to survive. He even cut a deal with his roommate, who was apparently illiterate and had knife scars. He'd teach him to read in exchange for protection. Wild, right?
And that whole experience, it became his core philosophy on life. He genuinely believes greatness doesn't come from being smart. It comes from character. And character, that's formed from suffering. So for Jensen, pain isn't something to avoid. It's a necessary ingredient for success.
Okay, so how does a mindset forged in a place like that actually translate to running a company? Well, it means you're not afraid to make these massive, bet the farm kind of moves, especially when everyone else is playing it safe.
And he did it. Not once, but 3 separate times. He bet the entire company. Like when he pivoted the whole strategy with just 30 days of cash left in the bank. Or when he poured billions into a technology for a market that didn't even exist yet. Or when he heard a pitch from a junior engineer and just ripped up the entire product roadmap to go all in on AI. See, for him, the biggest risk isn't failing. It's doing nothing. So here's where it gets really fascinating. He took all that personal intensity, that fear-driven engine, and basically scaled it into an operating system for the entire company. He built a corporate machine that thinks just like he does. So let's look at the Huang operating system. First off, he has something like 60 direct reports. Why? To crush information silos and keep everything flowing. Feedback, it's not done in private, it's public. He thinks mistakes are a chance for everyone to learn. His emails are famously like 1 line short to force people to be crystal clear. And that whole 30 days from failure thing, that's not just for him. It's the heartbeat of the whole company. It's designed to keep everyone on their toes. And if you're ever in a meeting with him, don't ramble. He'll just cut you off with 3 letters, L-U-A. Listen to the question, understand the question, answer the question. That's it. It's his way of forcing intellectual honesty. No fluff, no hiding, just the truth, and make it fast.
But okay, just when you think you've got him figured out, the story gets way more complicated. Because this relentless, super demanding machine of a leader, he's also a man of profound contradictions. And this one story pretty much captures the whole paradox. So in a big public meeting, he just absolutely tears into a junior employee. I mean, totally humiliates him. But later on, that same employee gets diagnosed with a really rare, serious illness. And what does Jensen do? He privately offers to pay for all of the medical bills, out of his own pocket. It's this wild duality. He demands an almost impossible standard of performance, but at the same time, he shows this incredibly deep personal loyalty and care.
So you put it all together and you see this psychological engine that was forged for crisis, right? It's fueled by a fear of failure, and it's built for an all-out sprint. And for a long time, that was the absolute perfect weapon to take on the world and win.
But the battlefield is changing. This isn't just a simple fight for survival anymore. Now you've got huge geopolitical tensions basically closing off critical markets. And maybe even more importantly, his biggest customers, we're talking Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they're not just customers anymore. They're becoming his biggest competitors, building their own chips.
And that leaves us with the, well, $3 trillion question. Is the psychological architecture that's built for survival, for a sprint, is it the right weapon for this new era, for a long, complicated political marathon? Could the very fear that built this incredible empire actually become the thing that limits its future?